If you're feeling disinterested, disengaged, disconnected, anything really from your partner, I've got a question for you. Do you think this might have something to do with it? I got to tell you a story. My wife and I were out to dinner a few nights ago, and we are at a restaurant in the city, so the tables are kind of close together. And shortly after we sat down, another couple sat down at the table next to us, and I swear to God, the whole time they were there, they did not look at each other once. They were glued to their screens. They were glued to their phones as they were walking past us to sit down, and they were basically glued to their phones the whole time that they were there. Now, I'll be honest, they weren't both 100% there, but certainly one was. The man, occasionally looked up from his phone to talk to his wife. It looked like he was playing Words with Friends and maybe surfing the net a little bit. The wife, and this is not sexist because I've seen it flipped around the other way, right? The wife did not look up from her screen the whole time. I kid you not. She was like this the whole time. She must have been to the restaurant before because she already knew what she wanted to order, and it didn't seem like she ever even looked at the menu. Now, look, they might have the most amazing relationship in the world. This might have been some weird aberration. And outside of this encounter, they might be totally connected, totally in a partnership. They might have passion through the roof and share amazing, explosive love with each other. But I'm willing to bet that's not the case. And I'm also willing to bet that if you take this out 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, their relationship is going to be in increasingly dire straits if they're even still together. Because based on this encounter, things are not looking good to them. Why? Because your intimate relationship is based on connection. It's based on having some type of intimacy. And when you are not present, when you're not attending to each other, then you can't be intimate. If you're not looking at your partner, then you can't really know what's going on with them. They might tell you everything's fine, but facial or postural cues can give things away. That's what it's like when we've got somebody who knows us well compared to somebody who might know passingly from work or at the gym. And that is the real juice, the real blood, connective tissue of that intimate relationship. So I ask you, and look, it could go either way, right? There could be the chicken or the egg. I ask you how much time you spend looking at your phone compared to your partner. How much time you spend disconnected or in your world compared to connected or in their world. Look, I'm not throwing shade. We're all human. I've done it too, right? There are times I get involved in an article, or I get a message or whatever at the dinner table, where I pick up my phone, I take a look at it, and my wife has to snap me back, and vice versa. Sometimes it happens to her, and I got to bring her back, and we understand that. But generally, we're pretty good. But what I do know is that you've got, and I'll make it personal, I have got to be looking at my wife, especially in her eyes. She's got to be looking at me as much as we ever look at this phone. I've got to be touching her. She's got to be touching me as much as we touch our phone. How about you? What's it like in your relationship? How much time do you actually look at your partner's face? How much time do you gaze into their eyes, especially during the time that you're together, compared to looking at your phone? How much time do you spend touching them in some way, even on the shoulder, much less holding their hand compared to holding your phone? I gotta tell you, if you actually pay attention over the next few days, I'm willing to bet money that you're probably spending a whole lot more time holding your phone and looking at your phone than you are holding your partner and looking at your partner. And again, there's no judgment here. But if you are not happy, if you're not thrilled with your relationship, then you might want to experiment with turning that ratio around a little bit. You might want to hold your partner more than you hold your phone. You might want to look at your partner more than you look at your phone. At least experiment with it. See how it feels. And look, maybe you're doing that because your partner has pissed you off in some way, or you feel like they've abandoned you or betrayed you in some way. Well, you know what? If that's the case, then get some help, work on that, and turn it around. Because going into your own world is not going to have the relationship survive. It's just going to ensconce both of you in your own little prisons. And you might technically be together, as in you're not divorced or broken up if you're not yet married, but you're not actually together. Togetherness is based on presence. To be present, you've got to actually feel what's going on in your partner's world. That's the only way you can help them. That's the only way they can help you. They can't support you. They can't make you laugh. They can't love you if you're not allowing them to be present with you. and vice versa. So look, this goes out to definitely both of you. I'm not just talking to you. I'm not talking to just your partner. This is definitely a shared thing, and it's endemic in our society today. I'm sure I don't have to tell you that. I'm sure you've seen things just like I've been describing. Although one I saw was definitely pretty comically exaggerated, but it was so impactful, I just had to share it. So look, take those little exercises that I shared, inject them into your normal relationship, and see how they feel. See what kind of difference they make. In review, what is that again? Pay attention and make sure that however much time you're holding your phone, at least while your partner's around, hold them just as much or more. However much time you're looking at your phone, make sure you're looking at them, especially in the eyes, just as much or more. I think you'll see that it actually makes a pretty amazing difference in terms of bringing you guys together, which is going to help everything else grow, your partnership and your passion. So if you want any more information about my programs or working with me, just go to my website, GuyArdito.com. And of course, there is the free relationship mastery course there for the taking. Just sign up with your name and email. The URL is GUYARDITO.com. Enter it, and I'll be sending that off to your email lickety-split. I hope you found this information useful. Remember, take it, apply it to your relationship today, see the difference. Until next time, this is Guy Ardito saying, life is an adventure. Live in love.